See, it's nice what you do. See, I know. Understand what you like. Here is it. Get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound. See, I like exactly what y'all put your hair right here. Shorty dance on the ball. Won't you go up high? Then you go round and round. Then you open your mouth. Ooh, I like inside your love. Shorty fell in bed. She said she can't breathe. I hit that from the back. I show her I'm nasty. Baby, I'm the man. Grab your hair and I stand. I show you are. You're the one that I'm a go strong. Hit your body involved. Get you bound. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound. Give a stick like a manual transmission. Then baby, come here, get into position. And let me just beat it, flip it while you scratching. I know as that DJ is saying. Damn little mama, that drama you get to. Only showing you my tongue on your dick. I'm trying to rock it right there. You can do the bounce like the 90s up in here. I said, move over, shorty, you can rock it to the left. I'm trying to get that thing up just like you're running out of breath. Damn, baby, girlfriend. Now let me show you how that boy was. What you do? See, I know. Understand what you like. Here is it. Get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Come get this thing. Shorty, you bound.
I don't know if he goes Aussie Fever or is it Mo Hard? Either way, everything's in the description. Check out his Reverb page. All his music is there completely. You can check it all out and listen to it. I enjoy it. I haven't heard anything like that ever. Just being honest. I think it's a very unique sound. It's a very unique style of music. You're very original. I like it a lot. I'll definitely be listening to more. We're going to have another song that's going to be playing at the end of our show as well. Anyone else that knows anyone that's a local artist that want to get their music showcased on the beginning of our shows, please let it send a message to our Interviews with Everyday People page. Descriptions are also in the Dropbox there. And we'll definitely promote you guys and get you some exposure out there. So yeah, we have a short one right now. Hopefully he's on his way. Did anyone send a message?
I did not.
Okay.
I'll admit that. I'm just talking to your dad, but
right.
Do you want me to send a message?
Please do make sure he's still alive. Andy's going to be a little late. If not, we'll have Dave jump in. I don't know how much nerd topic he could fill in, but we'll give him a run. Yeah. So. I'll cover some quick news while we're waiting for Andy. I'll cover my big news. It pains me to see him go, but I want to see the project continue. We're losing, in my opinion, which is the greatest on-screen Batman we've ever had. Regardless of what I don't listen. When I see Batman, I shouldn't see a guy I look like I could beat up. I'm sorry. I'll kick Michael Keaton's ass.
Hey.
Christian Bale, he's getting his ass whooped.
Christian Bale, but Keaton was the man.
I agree.
He's a great Batman. He's a great actor. but when he doesn't look threatening to me. He'll get hands. Like, you know what I mean? You've seen Ben Affleck in that movie, and he's pushing like 200 some pounds, solid muscle.
Wasn't all a suit.
He was, he was jacked. He did his thing.
Yeah.
But he looked appealing. Like, he looked like a good Batman. He played a good Bruce Wayne. That's going to be playing him yet. But next one, I'm sorry.
I hope it's a no name.
I do too. I kind of want someone who you don't know and
Right.
can kind of take that role.
I hope they don't like get a giant star and hope to ride on their coattails of, okay, we have this actor as Batman.
Yeah, I'll 100% get behind that.
I think even the expectation would be a little too high if you got a big name actor then too, but at the same time you have, the no name and be like, oh, let's see what we can do.
Right.
But which direction are they going to take the movie? I mean, the Dark Knight trilogy took it to that dark side of Batman that everybody's
Dark
seen.
Knight trilogy took it to a spot that, as a Batman fan, that I absolutely hated. They are, at the end of the day, they are comic book characters. Not everything has to be realistic. When you give me Bane, I want Bane. I want his Venom. I want his big suit. I want a comic book character. I don't want a dude with a crab on his face.
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying they took it to that dark
You
spot.
make the movie then.
Well, you're making a comic book movie.
I'm just saying, Christopher Nolan is an amazing director. I worked on The Dark Knight Rises and was there when they blew up the stadium and stuff. So I was thrilled to see Bane drive around on a tumbler.
Yeah, I mean, as a movie, it was a
Yes.
great movie.
Right.
But as a comic book movie, it's not my cup of tea.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, especially if you're gonna go Batman. I am a huge Batman fan.
Yeah.
Like, those characters are iconic. They were written that way for a reason. They were made to be kind of realistic but unrealistic. So if you're gonna give me a Bane, give me Bane. He's like, that's like saying we're gonna make this Joker and not paint his face like a clown. Like, well,
I'm sorry, but that movie looks terrible.
the new one.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of the face paint, but I'm holding out judgment to say maybe that's not the end product. But let's see how it works.
Honestly, I think the kid from Shameless who's been playing the Joker in Gotham needs a shot at it.
Yeah.
He's fantastic at it.
Incredible
Yeah. I was the initial rumors were they were also thinking about Leonardo DiCaprio for that role.
Yeah, I'm sad.
I would have liked to see Leo play the Joker.
I mean, what's Joaquin Phoenix done in the last decade besides disappear?
I don't know.
No.
Everyone's a big fan of him, so let's see how it goes.
The roles I've seen him do, he's really good at.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
I think the last
100%
movie I
great.
saw him in was Walk the Line.
Yeah, but I mean, at least in my opinion, I don't
think
know
he-
too much about Johnny Cash, but I think he nailed it.
I think
Yeah.
he did another movie called Inherent Vice, which was also a book then too.
Oh, he did.
that one, it's kind of like a noir or something like that, like something noir, but
Mm.
it had him just like a washed up like drug dealer trying to find this one girl or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know like the real
Oh.
premise of it, but
'Cause
no, he did that.
He
at
did
least.
Her, I believe it was called, where he's like in love with the computer.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. Now
I
you
think
bring
that
that
might have
up.
been
Yeah,
his most.
I mean, I'll
recent.
definitely get. I'm open to giving him a shot. He is a very good actor. It's a very good director. Let's see what happens. But the initial images of the face paint and I'm not sold. We'll do quick other movie news real quick. 3 movies that I'm going to bring up. I'm super excited for. I'm a fan of every single one of them they made before. Bad Boys 3 is in production.
Oh boy,
I loved Bad Boys 1 and 2. 2 amazing actors, comedians, very funny. And I like how they kind of role reverse, how you would think one would be the badass and one's this, like, they're good movies. I'm excited for part 3.
And that's what a solid decade between movies as well.
Yeah.
And said that it was just the next generation of Ghostbusters as these female group.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Well, that's what I read
bring
for
the
the
it's
new
still
one.
cast
in it's still in developmental, right? Or they're
Yeah.
They're shooting.
they're figuring it out.
Yeah,
so
they're
you,
shooting.
you
Yeah.
figure maybe they'll throw them in. I don't know.
I
but-
The
doubt
way I
it.
read it, it is like the next generation of the Ghostbuster, but you have Murray, Ramos, or not Ramos,
Murray, Ernie Hudson,
Aykroyd.
and then
and Aykroyd are all involved in the movie somehow. It's like they're still doing it and they're passing the torch on to a bunch of kids or something from what I've read so far. Apparently it's a small leak.
If I think I wish Andy was here. He pitched an idea in our group chat saying, what if obviously one of the members is dead, they're at his funeral, and it was your
That
pitch.
was me.
That
I
was
was gonna
Nikolai's
say,
pitch.
This sounds
And-
awfully like
And,
what I told you.
Nikolai's pitch. Well, go ahead, do your pitch.
Oh, okay. So they're at
I'll drink the beer you brought.
the
Egon.
Egon's funeral,
Egon's dead.
and it's their grandkids, and they're not really into the whole ghost thing. They don't really believe too much into it until one of the ghosts crash the funeral, and they have to go see the old Ghostbusters and kind of like suit up themselves because they're tired of all this destruction that happened at the funeral.
Book it. I'm a fan of it.
I like that. That's a good theory.
And then the last one is Zombieland Part 2.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
I'm a fan.
I've been really
I'm a
waiting for
fan.
that film. Yeah.
I put Woody Harrelson in anything, I'll
Are there
watch
gonna
it.
be Twinkies?
Of course.
That's the big
Of
question. Will he
course.
find
I mean, are we
Yeah,
talking about
goofy,
an
yeah.
hour and 45 minutes of him just trying to find Twinkies again?
Listen, with that cast, with zombies, and the way they did it last time,
I mean,
I'll watch an hour 45 minutes.
Yeah.
of looking
For Christ's
Twinkies.
sake, they shot Bill Murray.
They should shoot somebody else this scene. Like just find another
Another
David,
Ghostbuster.
like David Hasselhoff or something. Like I don't know, something funny. We'll get to the next bit of news here. This is actually we'll stay in this Twilight Zone. I don't know if you've seen the teaser image.
No.
They released a teaser image and says that it will come out this year, April 1st of 2000.
Zone. It's so like held on to those
See, I don't
fans.
latch onto that stuff like that. Like, listen, if you stay true to what it is and you stay true to what it could be, then I'm for it. But if you
Right.
take it and you like, this is the Twilight Zone, but we're going to turn it into something completely different,
Right.
then count me out.
I guess
Same with the comic book things. If you're going to give me Spider-Man, give me Spider-Man, but don't give me Spider-Man and then completely change exactly who he is as a person, then try to sell me the same thing.
right.
Mhm.
I guess what I'm saying is I hope they don't ride we're gonna go on the Twilight Zone coattails and then like you said switch it around and stuff. And
What
hope that
I'm
because
hoping it
it's-
is, I'm hoping it's an American version of Black Mirror, but with the Twilight Zone moniker.
See, I wouldn't mind that.
I think that's a knockout of the park.
Just
Yeah.
have
And
to
I
be
think-
really smart about it.
And honestly, like you can dive into topics that are to hot button topics in our country right now, like sexism, racism, and that Peel can attach to that and make a scary movie out of it. Like Get Out was a scary movie. He talked on topics that are hot button issues and made a horror movie out of it.
Right.
If he can do that with the Twilight Zone, I'm in. I'm a fan of it.
One
'Cause-
other thing while we're on the movies, Spider-Man, speaking of, are you on board with the second one? Jake Gyllenhaal Mysterio?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm for it.
He's
I
got his
thought-
big fishbowl.
Yeah, I think you set this movie up, and maybe you could do another one, or you bust out the Sinister Six. I mean, I think you lead up to that.
I mean, it's heading that direction. There's
yeah.
no doubt about it.
To me, if you're gonna make any superhero movie, the two most iconic characters, where if you want to talk about the hero and the villains, I think there's no comparison. I think if you look at DC, it's always gonna be Batman. Not only is Batman just a great character, but people latch onto his villains. If you take an average comic book fan and say, name me 15 villains, I'm gonna almost guarantee those 15 villains are gonna be Spider-Man or Batman villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They compare, they're kind of like hand in hand. It's like I would compare Spider-Man villains to like as many as they are as Batman villains then too. So like
Mhm.
you can name as many as you can from the Spider-Man side, but you can also name as many as you did in the Spider-Man side as in the Batman side.
I absolutely agree. And I think a lot of those villains cross over to other platforms. And even the ones that cross over, they're more known for being a part of a Spider-Man or Batman line
Mhm.
than they are maybe an Avengers or somebody else's characters.
Absolutely.
We're going to head to the video game side now. So Switch just hit $32 million in sales for the Switch,
Oh wow.
which is
neat.
awesome. Another rumor is coming in this year. They're going to be making another version of the Switch that will be smaller.
Why?
I don't know. I
That
guess
number seems low to me, though.
32 million.
Yeah,
That's pretty good for.
it is very good, but you got to remember when the Wii came out, the Wii exploded.
I think people had reserves because of the Wii, because they
Yeah.
made the Wii, then the Wii U, and then
Mhm.
Nintendo. They're like, where do we fit in? And then they made the Switch. People weren't on board with it, and then you only had literally for almost the entire full year of cycle. You only had Zelda that really drew people to it.
No, you had Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, but it was a remake of the other Mario Kart. So
Right.
it wasn't a system seller. I mean, people were
Right.
excited that they had it. Then Odyssey came out, and then people were like, whoa, this system is good. And then people went back and played other ones, and now they're hitting you with their lineups and telling you what's coming out soon.
Yeah.
And that system's going to take off. Um,
The online play is definitely going to help with them.
They need to fix it though, especially if you want to communicate with each other. The online for the Switch is not ideal yet.
I feel like Nintendo's third-party stuff, like the indie games that are downloaded, like I know Austin said about it.
I think a lot of those third-party games that you can buy on an Xbox or a PlayStation are good there. They're very good, but they're catered to a Switch.
Yeah, like that Next Up Hero game
Yeah.
that I sent you. I mean, I have it for Xbox. I played it on Steam, but the Switch is
those
a better
third-party
place.
indie games, they thrive there. They did very well on the Vita. They're going to do very well on the Switch.
Yeah.
So honestly, third-party support, I would just do those type of games and then do your exclusives, and I think you're in good shape there.
What isn't exclusive anymore though? Because if
Anything
you look at
made by
certain
Nintendo,
games, that's true.
Donkey Kong, Mario, Luigi, Animal Crossing, Goose, Metroid. I mean, Nintendo has about Star Fox. They have about 15 titles they can make exclusives.
That's true. But if you look at anything that's been called an exclusive in the last 10 years, all people have been doing is throwing money around and be like, open it. And they're just, okay.
But Nintendo won't.
I know Nintendo won't.
You will never get any of those exclusive titles on another system.
I'm just talking in general because it just
They're
seems like games that were Xbox, PlayStation exclusive, somebody threw money at somebody. It's like opening up for all platforms. The next thing you know, bang, there it is.
Yeah.
Nintendo was very familiar with on their system only because I mean, for even Nintendo days, they actually had special boards and special stuff, and they only sold so many boards to that company just to, you know, kind of keep them under a tight leash, no slack whatsoever. So I mean, Nintendo has that, but I mean, they kind of have to, cut some slack a little bit and actually try and kind of sort of adapt to what the gaming world really needs. And
honestly, what they need to do first is all those old games that everyone loved, stop just keeping them on those systems, move them forward to the next gen. Like
they do now if you pay for the online. If you pay for Nintendo Online, you get, it's called I'm hate myself now, but you get about 40 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is, like, for 64, they had the Pokemon Stadium games, which I loved.
Yeah.
They never moved forward. They were just on the 64. So I had to rebuy a 64 just to play them again.
Yes. Heidi,
bring them back. Pretty much bring them
can you
back.
grab my two retros and my Switch?
GoldenEye. Definitely.
They have such a tight leash that they can't even let themselves.
GoldenEye will be tough because right now,
I agree with that.
Right now, Rare, the company who made GoldenEye, who made a lot of big titles that were on the Nintendo 64, is purchased by is an Xbox title now. So Microsoft owns Rare, but Microsoft also did a co-op with Nintendo to do some cross-platform because when PlayStation wasn't playing ball, Nintendo said we'll do it. So I'm thinking maybe the agreement was maybe throw us some of our titles back, or maybe we'll do cross-platforms on those or deals. Right. So I'm not ruling out a Banjo-Kazooie possibly for Switch and Xbox.
And it makes a whole lot of sense though too, Tony, because we got King K. Rool and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and some other characters in too. So I mean, it's not too far fetched.
Yeah. So that's a possibility, but Rare made a lot of good games. I think after they make the N64 Classic, and that gets sold, I think you'll see a lot more titles come to the Switch.
These things?
Yep. Okay, Heidi's gonna be on camera real quick. Just pop this Kate. We'll do this. Since it's on the Nintendo top.
I'd love to see a Smash Brothers go cross-platform. I'd love to see that happen.
Never would happen, but
it's wishful thinking. It really is. I'd love to see that.
So are these both real ones this time?
Yes. So I ordered. They were the real one was also there, but I got the European version, which I thought was the fake version.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of European versions, I opened up my PlayStation Mini, and the PlayStation logo pops up and it says, like, underneath how it says like PlayStation Studios and all that kind of stuff, it says Europe after, and everything is put in as like for speeds it's km instead of miles per hour and stuff. So I have a feeling, because it also doesn't come with a power outlet plug, it's just USB. So I have a feeling they just branded it for every country and said, get your own plug. So it doesn't matter what country, because everybody has USB.
I just think PlayStation is shady as F, and that PlayStation Mini was a joke, and it should have never been made.
I mean, it's fun to play Twisted Metal.
Yeah, but you know where else you could play Twisted Metal? on your PlayStation 4.
Well, I don't have a PlayStation 4.
Well, I'm just saying.
And PlayStations are a dime a dozen too. You can pick one
PlayStation
for like $5.
Exactly.
Sorry,
PlayStation turned
dollars.
around and laughed at Microsoft and all of its fans for saying we love the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And PlayStation said we will never do backwards compatibility. We're more about the future. PlayStation has between the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, they have an amazing backlog of some amazing games that you can't play. So now you're going to make a retro mini that can't even handle half the games you're trying to put on it in emulation because they just don't play.
I know.
And then you're going to sell it for $100.
No, it is now 60.
It started as 100,
but it came out in December.
And you're not going to sell it with a power cord.
No, it has a power cord. It just doesn't have the thing you plug into the wall. It's just a USB piece that plugs into the back. Like
so pretty much like if you got like an actual like the plugs for
silly.
Wow, that's stupid, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I can understand as a company why they would do that, because then it doesn't matter what country. You don't have to specifically be like, okay, these are American ones. We have to send them only to America. We can send these wherever we want because you're responsible for that plug.
Yeah. So PlayStation, we already announced, is not going to be at E3 this year. They're just not showing up.
Surprise, surprise.
Xbox said they're looking to hit a home run this year at E3, which I mean, between them and Nintendo, I think they're primed to have a big E3. PlayStation kind of already announced they're going to start working on games for the PlayStation 5. So maybe they're slowly getting away from their thing where they kind of show a game off 3 years before it comes out and then show it for 4 E3s in a row. Who knows? Maybe they're changing up their style a little bit, or they're just saving everything because they have their own conference where they kind of do everything themselves.
And before E3 this year, I'd just like to admit that Xbox has already hit a home run in the past 12 months. Like whatever they have next is just gonna be a bigger improvement.
I've been slowly talking. Xbox has been doing very, very well since they hired. They got rid of the guy who did the first E3 where he tanked everything, and then once they brought Phil Spencer in, he has been doing amazing. Like everything that we asked as fans for the Xbox has been given to us. When it comes to, we're getting updates all the time. We're getting new ads to the thing. They're saying, listen, we know we don't have the games right now, but they went out and bought a ton of studios. I think they have more studios now than any other company.
Game resolution's a lot clearer.
Yeah, the Xbox One X, it's a beautiful system.
Absolutely.
They're doing everything right now. So now is their time to take, like, they're not going to win the console war this time around. If you look at sales between the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 outsold it 10-1. The Xbox 360 was a better system.
Absolutely.
It had better on everything. And in the Xbox 360, everything that was good about that, they put on the PlayStation 4. And then everyone's like, PlayStation, like, oh my God, because it was such a radical change from the 3 to the 4 that people were like, this system is the greatest thing that ever was made. Because but that's all technology. It's kind of like being an Android user and then you're an iPhone user and you're like, iPhone's like, we just got this new thing on our phone. And we're like, we had that 4 phones ago. You know what I mean? But because Xbox is kind of the underdog when it comes to getting their push.
And when they dropped the One, all those PlayStation users who swore to God, I got my PlayStation back, I'm never going back. As soon as they dropped the One, the PlayStations were right back at GameStop and they were picking up an Xbox.
Well, the longest time they had the claim to fame is we have the most powerful console, and then they lost it, and now they're latching on we have more games. When Xbox beats that soon, what are they going to latch onto?
Well, their other big claim to fame there was we have free online gameplay. That came to an abrupt end this past year.
Well, it came to an abrupt end with the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 4, when they got hacked by Anonymous, they literally told the people, you're paying for a service that was never updated from the PlayStation 3. They did nothing to change anything. They just charged you for it. So, I mean, I own both systems. I do lean heavily towards Xbox, so you can call me whatever title you want to give me, X-Bro. I don't care. I'm a fan of my Xbox. Other news we got, that's pretty much all I got there. Resident Evil 3. They're talking about doing a remaster at Resident Evil 3 if their sales for Resident Evil 2 do very well. Resident Evil 2, from everyone I talked to, has been phenomenal. Everyone enjoys it, including myself. We'll get into that in a minute. And they're also talking about Resident Evil 8 and going back to a third-person camera and not first-person, which I think is the right move. 100% the right move. The first person was cool. I still think Resident Evil 7 is not a Resident Evil game. It was a PT jump on because PT came out. Silent Hill was going to do that whole thing, and then PT didn't happen. So Resident Evil was like, "Hey, we can make a first-person scary jump game," and they went with it. They threw some Resident Evil puzzles in, and that was pretty much it. But
decent ones too. Decent puzzles.
It was a good game, but I think even if you would have removed the Resident Evil title to it and just made it like scary, disgusting house game, like it would have. It had
been all right.
It was a good enough game to carry its own weight. They just threw the Resident Evil title on it for to me for no reason. I think if you're gonna make Resident Evil 8, you go back to your zombies. You go back to, maybe just the raccoon. Just go back to what we love as Resident Evil. Go third person over the shoulder, and do exactly what they did with Resident Evil 2 remake. And I think they kept that lore. I want to go back to that. Even if you don't if you give us a brand new characters, but say, hey, Umbrella did this now, or just kind of keep that idea alive.
And like even leaning towards like Leon Kennedy. Every time if you ask me, it's like, who would be your main guy for Resident Evil? Like, yeah, you can say Chris Redfield, but I always go to Leon Kennedy because I always liked him as a protagonist.
Because Resident Evil 2 is hands down the best Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And then next in line would be Resident Evil 4, which is also
Leon Kennedy.
Yeah. So that's why people latch to Leon more than anyone.
And I'd like to see the merchant again from 4. Warrior boy, what are you selling?
Yeah.
I like him.
I know we all do a lot of avid gaming here, but at what point do fans start to say enough with the reboots and say we want something new?
Well, that is actually a topic tonight that we're kind of loving the reboots.
Yeah.
I feel if you can make a game that was so iconic and so classic and do it the way that was done for this Resident Evil 2, as a fan, we're gonna love it. Because some of those games are amazing, great stories, great everything. But now you have the technology to do something better. It's kind of the same with the movie. King Kong. Everyone's like, "What? You're gonna make King Kong again?" And then we got King Kong, and you're like, "Wow."
And the reboot to that movie was absolutely 100 times better than the original.
Yeah, I
Wait,
mean,
which one are we talking about now?
Well, King
I think
Kong
they're talking
in the
Skull
last
Island.
5 years.
not the Skull Island. I'm
Not
talking
Skull
about
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Oh.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was that. The new Skull Island one is a King Kong movie, but it's not a King Kong remake. It's because they literally shot for shot remade the original King Kong with the Jack Black one. Which was a great remake. So I'm not 100% against remakes or reboots as long as they're done well. Yeah.
Right.
Video game wise, I think if you have a classic title, like if they told you right now, we're in production, we're gonna remake Mario 64, but call it Mario Switch, would you buy it?
Yeah.
100% you would buy that game.
Of course.
With today's technology, oh my, I would buy that right now.
What was it, last year before, Call of Duty put out Infinite Warfare, I believe, and then they had the remastered Call of Duty 4 with it on top as a bonus.
Yeah.
Everybody bought that game for the remastered Call of Duty 4 and basically took the brand new game and threw it in the trash.
Me personally, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan.
I'm just using that as an example.
But yeah, right,
I
100%.
completely concur with them. Like, I played here and there, and from what it went from in the beginning to what it became was an absolute travesty. And now you're like, okay, well, we'll reboot this, and then we'll kind of listen to the fans and give them what they want again, and then we're going to give and take until we find a median.
Yeah, I'm not, once again, not a Call of Duty fan, but I was a fan of the World War II version. I thought that was a great game.
That. Yeah.
Honestly, I wish they would go back to like Ghosts. I'm tired of the zombies. They did one game, as far as I know, where aliens were the thing.
That was in Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts.
But in Ghosts, they also had crates where you could become Michael Myers and the Predator and an alien and stuff. So I wish that stuff would be back.
You just hide in corners, you turn invisible, like Predator, somebody walks past you, just stab them.
I want to cover my topics, but Andy said he will be here soon. He still is coming, correct?
He said roughly 1 hour out, so.
Okay. Ben, do you want to do
guys that made one of the characters Deathstroke, and he appeared on the new Teen Titans #2. He also made one of my favorite Marvel characters, which was Taskmaster, which appears on Avengers 196. He did a lot for the art and everything else, but now he's actually formally retiring from conventions. So he's only going to be doing maybe about four conventions, and he's sticking with his rules where basically he got a little political and said, well, all these red states that, Trump got, won over, I'm not going to them. I'm going to the other states. I don't mean to bring political stuff into it, but point being, though, you're missing out on a really great artist. I mean, he did sketches. Apparently, he was a really nice guy. So
I'm not a political guy. I can care less what side.
I don't care either.
But to say you're not going to go to a certain location because you don't like the way the vote went, so you're going to punish your other fans because of that. That's silly.
That's like saying he's going to punish Schuylkill County because Schuylkill County gave Trump the massive kick in the vote that he needed to win.
Yeah.
But point being, though, like what I was just saying is, but he's only appeared on a few conventions. He's like really limiting his sketch opportunities. If you ever wanted a sketch or want any signatures on your books, because I'm actually looking to get a signature from George Perez. Then too, I have a guy that's going to be going to one of the conventions. And I also wanted to bring up, speaking of conventions, kind of wanted to bring up some local Pennsylvania conventions. If you're ever curious, like what dates there are, I just have a quick list here that I pulled up just for the heck of it. One of them is Lehigh Valley Comic Con. That they said it's in Schnecksville, PA. That's
It
a small.
is.
And
Have you
that's
been to it?
I've been to it quite a few times.
Yeah.
And that's a decent convention. You only pay like $5, but if you get like the little postcard that they mail out, it's like $1 off. So you're going in for $4. Like, and they always have some good dealers too. Like one of them is Tales of Adventure. That's in Cooperstown, and I've never heard of some of these, but I'll stick with some of the ones that I'm familiar with. Wizard World Comic Con. It's going to be on June 13th. Last one was disappointing in my opinion. Last year, it looked like they didn't even take anything. They didn't take anything seriously. A lot of their celebrities that were booked were dropping a week before. I mean, the tickets were about $100, like for a 4-day pass. So like you kind of figure, oh well, there's only like Norman Reedus quit. He did like there's so many of them that it was just a terrible convention. I was just disappointed with my one coworker and we ended up going to Chinatown for like that weekend, just roaming around. That's it. That's how bad it was.
We were talking before the camera went on. Greater Philly Comic Con, I believe, is the first week of April.
Greater Philly Comic Con, yeah, that's another good one. Let's see here. Why is that not on here? But no, that.
Yeah,
a lot of them usually don't schedule their dates until it gets closer to the date.
Yeah, I've only ever been to one con, and that was Steel City Con. Yeah,
but they also have the Keystone Comic Con, which it's gonna be near the end of August. So that was one that the same people that did San Diego Comic Con and New York Comic Con, same company, brought it to Pennsylvania. So they did their first show.
Yeah, I'll definitely attend. I mean, I can't do Saturdays. I can do on Sunday.
I think it's like August the 23rd.
Yeah.
We usually do.
So I have someone real quick on the line who's joining us. He helps out with our page and stuff, and helps out obviously with the show now. I have my little brother Austin on the line.
Oh,
and if you want to talk about going to a Comic-Con, this bastard is stationed in right by San Diego. So
you prick.
Hey,
are you there, Austin?
I'm there. 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away.
I know where you are too. Naval base, right?
Yep.
Hey,
Hamilton.
look for the free tickets there. That's how I got in.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Can you just like wear your outfit and be like, hey?
It don't work
They
that
would
way.
probably think he's just cosplaying as somebody.
He's cosplaying as a seaman level 2.
If you're out there, they do give you free tickets.
Do you have like a headset with you at all by chance?
I do. Give me 1 second.
If you are stationed out there, and they actually do give free tickets to the Navy base, and like whoever wants, they will.
I think he's on a Marine base. Actually, no, I could be wrong.
Same concept.
Yeah,
with the Navy and Marines are.
He is the Navy, company. But he's with the Marines because he's a corpsman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the free tickets. Go have a good time. That was one of the best times I've ever had.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, much better with the headset. Yes.
Oh, great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. Yeah. So Ben, go ahead with your list.
Also, I was just looking really quick at the Great Philadelphia Con. That's April 12th through the 14th of this year. And that's the little bit of the further one out from us, about an hour.
Heidi.
Definitely not bad at all. And that's at the 100 Station Avenue in Oaks. That's pretty good. So let me just see if there's anything else.
I don't know if Heidi's coming or not. She might be upstairs. Heidi. Nope.
I just wanted to touch on a few of them, but
We're actually. Oh, here she is.
is.
We're planning on going to a con, right? We're gonna go to our first convention. Well, you're going to your first. Well, I mean, our first non-comic related convention. You're looking at, right? We were talking about a little bit.
Oh yeah, I don't know yet because I'm trying to find out which date.
Was it Monster Mania?
Monster Mania is
awesome
We are
convention.
talking about going to Monster Mania in Jersey.
Yes. It's
Um,
awesome.
she's like, I want to go because Christina Rich. Shawn Michaels is there,
Michaels and Kane,
Sold.
and Kane.
Sold.
Jason, and there's a bunch of other people.
HBK baby.
That's the only reason you want to go. Is
I want to kiss him on his mouth.
Sold. Like I said,
It's
sold.
honestly always well put together.
Would you let the man super kick you?
100%. Yeah, he can kick my jaw off. I can say I got a super kick from HBK. 100%. You could elbow me, super kick me. I don't get starstruck ever. Like I went to a lot of different things. I met people and I was just like, oh, cool, you're famous. That's awesome. I might get a little starstruck with HBK. Like I'd be like, dude, like, and then what do you tell a guy that hears the same thing by every single douchebag in the world? You meant so much to me as a kid. Yeah,
I can see you doing the Wayne's World. I'm not worthy. I'm not
I can
worthy.
see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that from
Yeah,
you.
what do you tell a guy that every single schmuck on the planet that meets him is like, you're the greatest of all time? He's like, kid, they call me Mr. WrestleMania. Get off my balls. You know what I mean? Like, get away from me. Now, like when I met Ralph Macchio, I was like, cool, man. And he's like, he had nobody at his table. Like no one knew, like no one cared. And I'm just like, what's up? And he goes, oh, Karate Kid fan? I was like, no, I loved Beer League. He goes, you're a fucking Howard Stern fan, aren't you? It's exactly how he said. Speaking of that con, I met Tom Savini. That was cool to me. I got a little weird with that one because I met Tom Savini in Monroeville, where Dawn of the Dead was created, and Tom Savini's right in front of me with the Dust Till Dawn cock gun right in front of my face, and he signed a Dawn of the Dead poster. Cool news with him, he actually just created a new mask. I don't know if you see on the page. He just made a new mask for Corey Taylor for Slipknot.
Their upcoming tour.
Super excited about that.
Tom Savini made a mask for Slipknot, which is a really, really cool horror movie and a music crossover. Yeah, heavy metal crossover. You have any, I'm sorry, Ben. Do you have anything else on your list you want to go over?
Nothing really. I just kind of like wanted to just bring at least a little bit of a convention scene. I mean, I'm gonna look over some other ones like outside of the state
And post anything you find. Like so that list you have,
definitely.
post that to
Yeah.
our page so people
Definitely.
can go cons or our area.
I know there's one other one I just like to mention, and that's the East Coast Comic Con. I think that's located in New Jersey, and that's going to be coming up March, April, from my understanding. That's a good one to go to. You know, big convention. They deal more with dealers, and then later down the line, I'll talk about Baltimore Comic Con then afterwards.
Where's that at?
That's in Baltimore. I think it's really like.
It's right out like in downtown Baltimore, right?
I think so, but they have it's just all dedicated to books and whatnot. And I never really went. I would like to go to it just because, but tickets sell out very fast. So
Baltimore's a fun city, but you be careful. Shit can go south quick.
I feel like there's not enough of hot water after you walk around Baltimore. Or after you're like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like
they have
they
have a really bad homeless problem, and
Yeah.
people are super desperate in that town,
Mhm.
and it's just it's sad. It's a sad, but you know,
and that's like even in.
I'm glad Lady's eating right now. I'm sorry to be able to hear her crunching at her food. But yeah, Nikolai, I know you. Well, have you been playing any games, or have you watched any movies or anything lately?
Okay, let me think here. I actually watched Ant-Man and the Wasp on Netflix. And
Is that on there now?
It is on
I
there
have
now.
not seen that yet.
I was
Thank
like,
you.
wait a minute, January 29th. I'm like, I know what I'm doing Tuesday night. Like, that's what I ended up watching. I'm like, I liked it. I just like the whole quirkiness with like Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas. I just like it. And to me, I was really thrilled about. Like they did some different stuff. It kind of brought you back to the first Ant-Man, but at the same time they did different things. They were more action oriented, and they did a little bit more quirky music to the soundtrack, which was really nice. And always with the special scenes, you'll find out a little bit at the end of the movie what ends up happening. I'm not spoiling anything if you haven't seen it, but definitely you'd be like, wow. And then you kind of have your ideas of what might happen. So see Ant-Man the Wasp streaming, good hour and a half, sit down and have a good time with.
I just think the wordplay between Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas, the movie itself,
God.
it's so hard not to laugh at almost half the movie. It's easily becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm a huge Paul Rudd fan, so I'll watch it. Sometimes the comedy in certain movies, especially the Marvel ones, bother me. But I'm a big Paul Rudd fan, so he gets a pass. Still, I haven't seen it yet, but still to this day, my favorite Marvel movie, and there's nothing coming close to it, is Black Panther. I love that movie. I mean, there was a few things I was like, really, you're gonna try to sneak humor in here. I felt like that movie had a purpose. Like,
there was no need for humor in that movie.
No, there shouldn't have any. Like, what are those? Stop it.
Yeah, I do wish that I know Marvel and Star Wars are all under Disney, but please change your style of animation with ships and all that kind of stuff, because during Black Panther, it looked like I was watching a Star Wars movie during their battle scenes, and it was like
An X-Wing fighter coming at you.
Yeah, it was like a cookie cutter of, well, we know this formula works, so we're just going to put it in our new stuff. And, you know, I don't know a whole lot about Black Panther. I mean, I did see the movie, but as like a comic character and stuff. But I feel like if they would have stripped.
Fun fact: if you Google Black Panther original suit, it looks very similar to a DC character. We'll just leave that there.
Yeah,
we'll drop that there and leave it for you guys.
And I really wanted to. Oh, sorry to Austin. You go ahead, Austin.
Good thing about Black Panther too, it came out at the perfect time. Like the timing of that movie coming out, it was just so, it had everything going for it, and they definitely capitalized on it. Yeah,
it's a phenomenal movie. Some of the great, one of the best quotes of the year when it came to a movie, because I'm a big movie quote person, came out of that movie, and he said, "We can save you," and he goes, "What? To put me in jail?" He goes, he goes, bury me at sea with the rest of the slaves who refuse over here and be a slave. Like they rather die than become a slave, which was powerful. I mean, also the rumors are that Michael B. Jordan may be coming back in Black Panther 2.
I hope so, because Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, and seeing him in a role like that where he has all that power, it's a really good thing.
This may be a spoiler, but there's a scene in the movie where he's with a girl, and the first couple scenes you see him with this girl, he's kissing on her, he's in love with her. You think they're going to be like a big deal, and then the time comes where he has to make a choice. You know, the girl is part of the equation, and he just shoots her right in the face. Like, I was just like, dude, Killmonger is a serious villain. Like, that's what Marvel needs. They need a villain. Go back to every Marvel movie. Their villains lack. Even when they made Ultron, you're thinking Ultron's going to be awesome. And he gets smoked, like, immediately. Like, I don't know.
I mean, do we really need to scratch our heads at
Thanos was good, but I wanted Thanos, like, maybe hopefully for part 2, Thanos is more like grit your teeth, I'm an angry Thanos. He was just too chill for me. He just destroyed the world and he was just like, bye.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, what's that?
Do we really need to talk about
the second
Fantastic
like how
Four?
He destroyed it. It was like
I want a new Fantastic Four.
Not this garbage, hot garbage.
Too hot for that.
No,
way too hot. For
right now, you have the rights to the characters.
Right.
You need something to take out Thanos, or they're already hinting at the next big villain behind Thanos, and they need new characters to step up because a lot of the characters are done playing the characters they're going to be in. Right now would be the best time to introduce the Fantastic Four, and the next villain behind Thanos would be Galactus, and you bring in Fantastic Four now, and possibly even a Doctor Doom. With the money that Disney has to make a character and do the CGI, and you're going to get good writing behind it, now, and you want to honor Stan Lee, you actually make a respectable movie for the characters that he made originally that he is super proud of.
And please make a better Galactus than the one that was in.
Don't
Rise
give
of
us a
Silver Surfer.
Stormcloud.
Yeah.
Give us Galactus.
Yeah.
I mean, was not to
You want to honor the man, you make him a good Fantastic Four
not to
movie.
drift here, but any of you guys seen Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Anybody else really
Dormammu.
disappointed in Dormammu?
I mean,
I did not see Doctor Strange.
now Dormammu. I mean, he's a little bit iffy in my opinion. Like,
I mean, when you've seen Dormammu, you've seen full body, flaming head,
Mhm.
and this one just literally looks like Galactus with a face.
yeah,
I mean, that was depressing. I was expecting, big badass Dormammu, and you get Stormcloud with a face, and he looks pissed off. That's about it.
yeah. But don't forget though too, you could kind of deviate from that and say, oh well, he's in another place, but that was just kind of like his like site where he was actually how powerful he really was in the actual film itself. He's that powerful where he can actually transport like an astral form of himself like that and kick Doctor Strange's ass.
Tried to.
Tried to, but
to.
failed because of brain power.
Forget where I was going with this now. Oh yeah, we got a whole Marvel tangent because you watched Ant-Man.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nikolai, you got some stuff going on here on your list. Some of it I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know.
So I'll let you roll with it.
So what do you want me to start with?
You can start wherever you want.
Okay, so I'm just gonna.
A lot of it's Broadway, isn't it?
Go for
no,
it, man.
no. So while we're on the topic of Broadway, just because Tony hates it, I'm gonna get it over with. For Broadway fans, you probably already know this, but I feel like since
For our Broadway fans.
did this show, I just wanted to say I'm sorry to see in April that Avenue Q is leaving Broadway after.
What is Avenue Q?
So it is basically an adult version of Sesame Street,
I'm in.
where one of their hit songs by a puppet called Trekkie Monster is "The Internet's for Porn."
Yep.
So
Why wasn't this side of Broadway brought to my attention sooner?
because you don't listen to me.
And you're a goof.
So I got to actually be in the show, not
Were
on
you a
Broadway.
puppet?
I played Princeton and Rod. There are some human characters in the show as well, but it's ridiculous.
They could have just put you in a costume and you would have looked like a puppet.
Well, I looked very similar to one of my puppets. It was pretty scary. But I am sad to see it leave.
I'm actually gonna look that up. Can you watch that show on the internet?
Maybe somewhere, but I mean, they post stuff all the time where tickets are $20 and stuff
Really?
to go see the show.
Wow.
I personally want to go see it again before it closes. So
I'd be game for that.
I mean, if
I'd
you
like to see
want
that.
to,
Find us a day trip what can work on a Sunday, and I'm in.
I'm fine with that.
And
Check some stuff.
if I could get it in time, then too, I could take the day off so we can have a little time to kill in New York as well.
Yeah, I've never been to
I
New York
wouldn't mind
City.
I know.
Oh my god!
Really?
Never been to New York City.
We're gonna take you. I'm gonna take you to some good bars then too. There's actually some good craft beer bars and some good places to go to.
Cool.
To eat.
Man, you got to take him to Katz's Deli for lunch.
Well, actually, I was gonna take him to the Ginger Man. That's they have 50 beers on tap, and they also have bottles. So you're talking about over 70 varieties of beer there. Then there's Beer Authority, which has about 15 taps then too. They actually have a good beer list.
Speaking of beer, this Shiner S'more is really good. It's a dark beer too.
Yeah.
It's a dark beer that does not taste like coffee to me.
Holy dog shit! That's unreal.
Yeah.
And then there's one place I want to go into Brooklyn, New York, and I'm deviating from it then too. It's called Please Don't Tell, and
boy.
it's where
Owned by Harvey
I'm
Weinstein.
not even shitting you when I tell you guys this. I actually met a fire gypsy, and she gave me her business card and told me about this place. So please don't tell.
Where are you going with this?
Please tell that story.
Yes.
Please.
Just don't stop now. Just tell us the fire gypsies. Don't care anything else about the bar.
So they used to do Bieber bus trips to New York all the time until
What kind of bus trips?
Bus trips, just
What kind?
you could just go
no.
on
What
bus
was
trips.
the title?
Bieber bus.
Oh, okay.
Bieber. Okay.
Yeah, Bieber.
I thought you
They
said
used to do-
Beaver.
So did I.
But you would used to get a Bieber bus to New York, and it was the easiest way. You park your car, you did your thing, you know what I mean? You came back home for a weekend trip. I used to do that for New York Comic Con, but Well, one of the trips that I made, I went to Heartland Brewing Company, and then there was this one girl. I started talking with her, and she goes, I'm a fire gypsy, right? I'm like, what? And here she breaks out the business card. She's like, yeah, I eat fire, and like I'm in a bikini, da 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 da. And she goes, do you want me to tell you where you want to go? I go, where? She goes, there's a place that please don't tell. And supposedly there's this. Oh,
You're good. Keep going, Ben. Jesus, Austin.
So.
Surprise room inspection.
So anyhow, she told me it's where this Criff hot dogs place is. So when you go into this place, there's a telephone booth, and you pick up the phone, and then there's a guy that will be on the other line and said, how many? And you say, like, all 4 of us. I go, 4. So then they'll buzz you in, and it's this whole mini bar. Like, it's kind of like a cool fucking speakeasy. And the place looks beautiful. It looks radical. And also the drinks are pretty good, apparently. The food looks really good. Even for hot dogs, it's still pretty good.
I thought this fire gypsy story was going to be a lot more interesting.
I can break out the business card sometime soon. I
Please
still
do.
have the business
So
card.
remember the story I told you where we went to the tattoo convention and found this attractive girl who's doing burlesque and trapped me and told me and Kevin to go to the show?
Sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that maybe the girl who was the clown at the freak show.
Scarlet.
I think it's Scarlett. I think I might have met Scarlett 3 years before I've actually met her
Wow.
and stapled money to her
Oh boy.
boob.
We won't talk
Anyway,
about that story.
I could be wrong. I was thinking about that in my head the other day. Like I met she does burlesque, she does all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
And I carried this very attractive girl's basket to the show for her. And then when she got on the stage and busted out the basket, it was
Ricky's younger brother's tuning in. Hey Jess, what's going
what's
on?
going on, man? Yeah,
He's liking it. He's digging it.
So that basket had a huge snake in it, and I carried it, and I don't like snakes at all. Yeah. Anyway, so Nikolai, the next thing, Santa Fake.
Yes. So Santa Fake is a movie starring Damian McGinty.
Who's David McGinty? Please.
Damian McGinty?
That's his
So-
boyfriend.
Damian.
No,
It's his friend.
he travels around with a group called Celtic Thunder. And
you're
he was also
Irish
on
dance
Glee.
guys. Okay.
They're not dance guys.
They sing. They don't
do
just
sing.
dance.
But anyway, he mentioned that he was in the studio the other day doing some ADR, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's when they take you into the studio and parts of the clip, the audio isn't as clear as they'd like. It was the first time he's seen clips from it, and he really enjoyed what he saw. So it makes me excited.
Can you tell us what the premise of the movie is going to be?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about the premise. I know
It's a Christmas movie, correct?
Yes, it is a Christmas movie. Hopefully it'll be out around November. They're still working on like distribution type stuff right now. But
And while we're here, Damian has a solo tour coming up.
yes, that starts March 19th in Philadelphia, which I will be at. So if you are there, feel free to stop by.
And you can
So-
tag. You can
tag. Yes, you can.
tag anything you want with this.
Yeah.
The whole boyfriend was a joke. I just Nikolai's fan of this guy. He's a really cool dude.
Just busting balls.
And yeah, we're just busting balls. But yeah.
He does have a single coming out next Friday.
And I
called
personally
Home
listened to
Sweet Home.
Celtic Thunder, and I thought they were good. I thought they were really good.
So moving on.
I took Nikolai to a Steel Panther concert, and then in return, Nikolai not made me, but we listened to Celtic Thunder on the drive one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No.
we're even.
Steel Panther fan? Yes. No.
Maybe if I could have seen the show.
I offer you
I was
a
too
piggy-
short.
I offer you the piggyback.
I know.
We're like,
I
this
offer you
girl's
a
showing her
piggyback.
boobs. Nikolai's like, I don't see nothing. I just see this guy's butt. Yeah. Go ahead, Nikolai.
So, on a more news topic type stuff, I found out that not all 4K discs, which just really annoys me, is not real. They just upscale like 2K video and put it on a 4K disc, so you're not really getting anything extra in quality. And like some of the weird ones that I thought would definitely be in 4K, like Infinity War, that's a fake 4K disc.
Fake news.
Which I was shocked about.
that's
John Wick, for instance, the first one is official 4K, but the second one is not. And like the first like 3 or 4 Harry Potters are real, and the rest are not. Anything that Christopher Nolan shoots, because he shoots in IMAX, that's all true 4K.
Cool.
But you can look up, if you look up real or fake 4K, there's like a 10-page list of all these movies. They're all in alphabetical order,
Oh my
and they're
god!
constantly being updated, whether they're real or fake.
What a fucking bamboozling that is.
I am drinking. Oh, sorry. We got a question. I'm drinking Shiner S'more. So Shiner, we did a review on this in our banging beers. I always say Breaking Bad. Banging
Oh my
beers
God.
episode 1. We did a Shiner review. Nikolai heard about this. He's a big fan of the s'mores flavored stuff. So Nikolai found Shiner S'more.
Well, actually, I didn't find it. I heard about it from group called Rooster Teeth, which I will talk more about them in a couple seconds.
Yes.
But they introduced me to this, and as soon because the beer is made in Texas,
It's a Texas beer. Yes.
Yes.
It's
So,
it's
it's finally here.
It's a s'more chocolate marshmallow ale. I'm normally not a fan of darker beers because I think they all taste like coffee. This is a very tasty beer. So if you could find it, this is Shiner S'more, and we will review. I got another. He gave me 2 bottles. So we're going to be doing another beer review of this on Bangin' Beers in the upcoming episode.
Yes.
Last episode just aired. It was a shit show.
It was fun though.
It was funny to
it was
watch. I
incredibly
watched the
fun.
whole show. I thoroughly enjoyed you guys going off like that.
It was
Yeah.
fun. That's the
Dan
part.
Dan got smoked.
Honestly, I was waiting for you to be like, "You're done. Cut off."
I cut his mic off and it didn't work because it bled through. So when I went back and listened to it, I have to learn how to, like, when Ben and my father were having a really good conversation on a beer, it was drowned out by just Dan being a drunk idiot. But he didn't ruin the show. It was really funny.
No.
And we actually had a request for someone who wants to be on. Mike from he owns Renalysis in Shenandoah.
Okay.
He's a huge IPA fan. So if we ever do an all IPA show, he wants to join us. But that's a really fun show, the Bangin' Beers. So check that out. We drink. I'm holding it up like Vanna White.
Ben, you got to do your homework for that show.
Oh, don't worry.
Ben also has some contact. We might be going to some actual breweries and having some beers.
On a side note,
We won't go too much into it though.
on a side note, let's just say we're going to be going to Bloomsburg somewhere. That
Bloomsburg
I kinda know
Brewery. You do the math.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of them, but I do know what I actually talked to the one brewmaster in Bloomsburg, and he is game for our show to be, to be on our show for real.
The other
He's
show
like
is
psyched.
Live from the brewery.
yeah.
He actually offered to actually come here, believe it or not.
Oh, well, we could do that too.
I mean, really up to you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Personally, I would like, if you haven't been to this brewery before, I'd go. It's all in there.
Yes.
Much.
All right.
So-
I'm sorry. Well, let's get back to
Go on, move
things that weren't cool in high school.
He
Nikolai.
does this every time. If you watch the interviews and people wonder why I don't talk, this is why. It's just this.
Stop it.
I don't get to talk. But
Anyway, so
Nikolai
stop
time.
it, man. All right.
Nikolai time.
So back to Rooster Teeth. They released a new show, and Ben, you're going to be so happy. I don't consider it this, but
someone said the far left guy is sexy. I'm sorry. That'd be you. It's Mike. Oxma. He knows you. He said, "Oh yeah, David Michael, far left guy, super sexy."
Couldn't tell you.
You got a fan. Go ahead, Nikolai.
So
Not
anyway.
the kind of fan I want. Are you sure you're not talking about Nikolai?
You're the far left.
No,
Yeah.
far left.
they would have said the little guy.
This is the Leonardo DiCaprio looking motherfucker.
Anyway,
No, you, David.
Heidi screams, "Let him talk." Go ahead before Heidi divorces me.
Ben, you'd be happy. I watched a show called Genlock. I don't consider it this,
Okay.
but the creators consider it an anime. To me, it's just a 3D animation.
Go ahead.
But if you go to roosterteeth.com, you can check out the first episode. Since I'm a first member, I got to see the first 2 episodes.
You're
But
holding me in suspense, man. Tell me.
I'm not going to tell you anything about the show.
Okay.
You're going to have to go out on your own, but I will tell you who are some of the stars in it.
Okay.
Rooster Teeth really hit the ground running with this. The lead of the show is Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
They have Dakota Fanning, David
Okay.
Tennant, and Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones. And they've all been in it in the first episode, so I'm super excited to see where that goes. But like I said, it's called
Rooster Teeth is
Genlock.
phenomenal.
Yes.
They started off literally doing achievement videos. Then they made Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
And now they have a full-blown production company. They make movies. They do everything.
Some of their movies are Laser Team 1 and 2. They just came out with Bloodfest, not to be mistaken by Hellfest. Go see Bloodfest instead.
But you're good. Haas is just talking to his roommate.
And yes, Jess, I do lift weights. You
Yeah,
know
sorry about
better.
So, and then your last bit of news here. You might be a killer.
Well, that's a movie. I mean, we can talk about that.
Okay, Ted Bundy.
No, it's a
Serial killers are
horror
popular
comedy
right now.
movie that came out in 2018, completely under the radar. I didn't hear anything about it. I actually was flipping through Vudu, and it was like $6 to buy it, and I was shocked because it stars Fran Kranz, who played the super high guy in Cabin in the Woods. Thought he was great in that, and Allison Hannigan from like How I Met Your Mother and American Pie. So those two together, they work really well. But basically, it's about a guy who his family owns a summer camp, and he wakes up and is covered in blood. And Allison runs like this horror shop and ends up cluing him in on that he's actually the killer. I'm not going to tell you how or why or any of that kind of stuff because I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm interested.
But it was for being so like not out there, it was really well done.
Cool.
And I highly suggest
Excellent
going and watch
stuff,
it.
Nikolai.
But there's one game that I play.
Oh,
now.
Nikolai got a video
Yeah.
game to talk about. This
I
is
have
exciting.
been waiting for this for like 10 years now. Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally out.
You don't
And
wanna go in.
When the first announcement for 2018 came out, I was like, there's no way. At the last minute, they're going to pull the plug and be like January 1st, 2019. And what happened? It's in January. It was released this past Tuesday. But as I was playing through it, I got to the Frozen world. And I'm like, great. There's going to be filled with like Let It Go and all this kind of stuff, which they did do Let It Go. But it got me thinking. They did Let It Go almost shot for shot of the movie. And Kingdom Hearts is in a style of animation that's pretty close to where Frozen was to start with.
Mhm.
So to have an animator go in and basically reanimate and add Sora, Donald, and Goofy into it, but still do
So you're
it.
telling me when I played this game, I had to listen to a Let It Go song?
Well, it's weird because the voice actor for Elsa is different, but when she sings, it's
The
Adina
same
Menzel.
song.
But it's shot for shot in the game, except you see Sora, Donald, and Goofy's perspective for parts of it.
Just listen, Xbox, I've been blowing you this whole podcast. Make PlayStation has it. Give us the full
Right.
collection of the game. You literally released you list part 3 to a game, and
Well-
90% of your base never played the first 2.
See, the good thing about Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know whose decision this was to make it or not, because I didn't play the side games like Chain of Memories or Birth by Sleep, but they have a option in the game that basically goes through all the major events from every game that ever came out of Kingdom Hearts so that you're not left in the dark,
Interesting.
which is nice.
I still like to play them remastered.
I mean,
And then
you
I
have,
would
you,
love
have, you have a remastered made. Put it on the system. But
Right.
So Dave, I know your last. This is a quick on the moment for you here. But what games are you working on right now? What movies, TV show are you watching? What do you got to recommend to our listeners here? Which, by the way, we are our most viewers right now at 6. So no pressure.
Hi, Barry. How are you?
Hey Barry, how you doing? He said hi guys. Rich is Ricky's in the room. Yeah, I'm excited.
Right now, the way I'm working, I'm not really getting a shot to watch anything. Everything's a lot of DVR'd, but I'm catching up on the last season of Gotham before they give that the boot off TV. And I'm thoroughly impressed with the way this whole series has gone. Everybody thought after 2 seasons it would be booted clean off the TV, but they made it to 5. So that's 5 or 6. I'm impressed. Movie-wise, I think I'm right up the same alley as you, just waiting for that next big one to drop. Captain Marvel, definitely. I want to see where they're going to take that.
Mm-hmm.
The new Godzilla movie, I'm right along board with you. I can't wait for that.
Yes.
Game-wise, haven't really been doing a lot of gaming. I just have no time for it between coaching, this, that, and the other.
Tell me about it.
I'm up here with you guys doing the Tornado Tag podcast. Pretty much, I'm pretty much a homebody right now.
We'll give a quick plug to Tornado Tag Podcast. So me and Dave, myself, and Ben went to a show in Hazleton. We went to a PPW show.
Mhm.
The promoter of that show,
Mr. Paul Bow.
we just became Facebook friends. I guess he enjoys what we do with Tornado Attack podcast and how we bring light to local shows. He's actually sent them in the mail. I should be getting them tomorrow. We're getting 4 free tickets to the next PPW show to give away to our listeners. So if you're a wrestling fan and you want a chance to win some free tickets to an event in Hazleton, PPW's got you covered through us. So that's really cool that we kind of have 2 promotions that we're really close with, and we're kind of showing the light to some local wrestling venues for people in our area. So PPW did a great job last venue. They had the Impact guys there. We'll go into much more detail with our next Tornado Tag podcast.
Very fun show.
But we had a blast, and thank you guys so much at PPW for the tickets, and we'll definitely do a ticket giveaway.
Definitely, that was a fun show.
And
I enjoyed it.
while we were at it there with the Bang and Beer segment, give it a shout out to our Tornado Tag podcast buddy Tyler for his new brew that he debuted today on the website. His chocolate marshmallow almond stout.
I think it was called Fluffy Fingers.
Fluffy Fingers.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds like a s'more to me.
Yeah.
Well, marshmallow fluff's in it, bud.
Where can I get it?
He didn't really say. He just said it's in production. So
Maybe we can get Tyler.
probably do
Tyler,
another
if you're
one.
listening, I'll make a message. We should get some of that beer for our next show.
I'll be on that one.
Yeah.
I just want s'mores.
They do a great job. They're doing. I don't think it's officially announced, but there's really, really big news happening with Brewfest. There has been a change in venue. It will not be at the Elks.
Oh wow.
he did not
Okay.
announce. All I seen was Pottsville. He did not.
So that's your tip. It's in Pottsville. I'm not going to say where in Pottsville, but all I'm going to say is if you're interested in that, tune into Tornado Tech and then tune into their breweries page and the Schuylkill County Brewfest, because I think once this is announced, it's going to shock people where this venue is, where they're going to do the Brewfest.
The Frackville Mall.
No, it's even better than that. It's going to be awesome, and I'm even more excited now that our podcast is going to be live at this venue.
And
And it's not going to be raining then too. It's going to potentially be dry. I don't know, but
If it rains, it rains. But
yeah.
the Schuylkill County Brewfest this year is going to be amazing, just because of this piece right here. We're not saying what it is, but tune in if you're into local beer and local Schuylkill County Brewfest. Follow it. Big news coming there soon. Austin, we got you on the phone here. I mean, right now you're kind of handicapped because you don't have your Xbox anymore. You don't really have anything but your Nintendo Switch. So you've been doing a lot of research when it comes to that. What have you been playing, or what do you recommend to our listeners?
So right now I've been playing actually a lot on my PC. I've been getting back into a lot of the more games like League, but on my Switch, I just hit 90% on Hollow Knight. That's been taking over a lot of my time.
Cool.
Games I'm super excited for are it just recently came out, which as a beat 'em up game I can't think of the name of. I don't have my Switch on hand. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll pull it up and keep talking. It's no big deal. But there's a lot of games I am excited for. Toe Jam and Earl Back in the Groove is going to be really cool in March.
I'm a huge Toe Jam and Earl fan.
Rising, it will be on all systems, which is
That
cool
game makes
thing.
you want to punch walls, so I won't get that.
are you
And,
still looking for Battletoads?
Battletoads will be on Xbox. That is a rare title.
I'm half tempted to actually buy an Xbox for that game.
Come to the dark side, brother. We'll take care of you.
We got
I
you
mean,
covered.
I'll eventually get it, but it's just like, whatever. But
You got some dead air, Austin. You're killing me. What do you got?
Oh, and then just pretty much super early
Sorry,
this
everybody.
year. I think it was January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. January 18th, my
Andy's here.
apologies. It's called Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. It is a beat 'em up game that takes place in the computer. And throughout the game, you're trying to go through this whole computer system and clear it of viruses, and that's the enemies. And it's just a really, really cool game. Super anime inspired art style. Just really, really cool game on the Switch.
So, I'm sorry. I had everything muted because I think Andy just came in and Lady's barking. But is there any other games going on the Switch you want to talk about?
I don't know if you guys heard me talking about Travis Strikes Again or not. The game I just.
Nah, yeah, it was the one you were just talking about. Yeah, we heard everything you were saying. We had to mute our mics.
No problem. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other than that, just been watching a lot more anime, getting back into that.
You're watching anime. Oh
Yes,
boy, the
again.
Navy ruined you.
Well,
Okay, well, and you could add him on. I'm not your guy in that aspect. Andy just came in. Welcome, Andy. No, you got your spot here. Dave was just kind of helping out. I've held off on all the topics for the most part. Well, my topic and your topic.
Do you think we can slide down maybe and fit Andy as a fifth?
Just like I'm gonna bounce out. I'm just here to fill the void.
Yeah, thank you,
So
Dave.
I know we
appreciate
don't.
that.
I know we don't do this too often in our podcast, but tag team
I
partner.
was
I need a tag here.
I have some goodies here.
I need a tag here.
Oh,
The hot tag. The hot tag.
Whoa, hey, welcome, Andy.
Whoa, the champ is here. Look at that. If you see it on the thing, we got
being nerdy.
we got a Flash crossover Pikachu shirt.
Get it
I love it. I love it. The champ is here, ladies and gentlemen. Outbreak champion Andy Header in the building.
All right, now I'm getting.
Hey, we're finally gonna get you in for your
Yeah,
first show
I
of
didn't
this.
do this
I'm
one yet.
psyched. Way to be, Andy.
Yeah,
Dave, can you turn this camera just a little bit to get Andy in shot?
It's tightened up a little bit. Right there. Yep, just loosen it up and then
Right there, you're good.
there we go.
Sorry
Perfect.
to completely interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good.
No,
So
nothing
we
wrong
kind of
with
covered a little bit. I didn't go over my topic yet because I think we're going to kind of share a topic, but we talked a little bit some news and everything. But what have you been playing, watching? What do you got going on?
Well, I just got back from a comic book store, so super dorky. I've been trying to beat God of War, for what I call God of War 4, the PS4 one.
Yeah.
So I just did what was it? Jotunheim. So I don't know if you played that at all.
I have not
Yeah.
played it.
It's very good, and Kratos looks exactly like Triple H.
Is it really?
Yeah, current day Triple H with the big beard and bald head and everything.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's much different than the other games because it's not as crazy action over the top like Bayonetta.
And he's not shouting at you like every minute or every word.
His anger's turned down. I guess because his kids with him.
Just a little bit back.
So yeah.
No,
Back.
the
Camera.
Sorry.
Back.
hey Tony.
No. Just loosen it and yeah, go ahead, Austin.
Sorry to interrupt, but I actually got to get going. I got to get back to doing some things because I have to finish up for the day and everything.
All right, man.
But,
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for calling in and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
Austin, see ya.
See you later.
See you guys.
All right, we lost Austin. He's gone. He's dead to us.
He's dead. Was he ever alive?
Yeah. So you've been playing that. That's a game that you've been working on.
Yeah, well, I finished Let's Go Eevee.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would trade the Pokemon. There was two I couldn't get. I couldn't get Scyther and Scyther I could get, but it's real rare. Pinsir I can't get in that game because it's not.
Didn't we trade?
No, I didn't get Pinsir. So
Before we leave, I'll give you
and I
Panther.
had one more too. The middle one, Dragonair.
Dragonair.
Yeah, I need Dragonair.
I might have a
And
Dratini.
that's
I have
it.
to find it.
But I'll talk about what sucks about that is to level up the. There's like when you beat the game, you beat the Elite Four. Obviously, you fight your rival too. Not to spoil anything, but for a game that's basically 20 years old, to level up your Pokemon, you have to catch Pokemon. But they got rid of the random encounters, so that's why you used to get experience and money. Now, the way to get money is to fight other trainers, right? So once you beat the game, you beat all the trainers. So you have to fight the Elite Four over again, and they have the low-end Pokemon and stuff. When you fight them again, they're hard and they have 6 Pokemon, but it takes half an hour to 40 minutes to fight all the trainers, and you have to do one shot. I mean, you could save in case you die, but still, one shot, and then you can fight your rival. So to make money, you got to play the game for 40 minutes to get enough money to buy more Ultra Balls to catch Pokemon, because that's the only way to level up.
Yeah.
So it kind of ruined the end game.
Oh man.
Because once you're out of Pokeballs, like you can throw the regular ones at the high level Pokemon, but you can't catch them.
Yeah.
So you need the Ultra Balls. Well, you need money. But you got to go fight the Elite Four again.
You just spend 40 minutes a shot.
Yeah, because they put like elite
It's that
trainers
cycle.
everywhere that it'll be like the master Meowth trainer. But you have to fight him with a Meowth, and his Meowth's they're all level 70. So there's one for every Pokemon. But to level up your Meowth, you're gonna have to go catch.
And you
Chansey
can't put
over and over.
Meowth in, swap them out.
No, you're only allowed one Pokemon, the Pokemon that he's the master of. So,
Oh man.
yeah. So the end game kind of sucks. So I gave up because you can only catch Chansey for an hour for so long, and it's like.
And what have you been watching? I know you finished up with season 2 of a show.
Yes, Punisher. I did that all one weekend, kind of like you did Resident Evil. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I know I really like the first season. I know some people said, "Oh, the story isn't good," but I think it's really good. And some people said it ends and it like ends the story. I don't think so. I think leaves it open. I probably won't get a season 3 because I'm sure it will get canceled.
I think it'll get moved to the Netflix to the Disney streaming service.
The Punisher's probably the one that I think on the last of the list of all the Netflix shows.
That's very possible.
That maybe Jessica Jones, but
Isn't that leading into season 4 of Daredevil?
no, there's no season 4 Daredevil. That's
They
classic.
cut it?
Yeah.
They cut. Yeah,
Yep,
the last
done.
two shows. The last two shows on Netflix are Punisher and Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
They didn't officially cancel them yet, but it's pretty much coming.
Yeah. Now Jessica Jones has season 3 coming.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Because the Daredevil series was probably one of the better ones they had out.
3 was fantastic.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you guys watched
Yeah,
season 3.
I have not yet. I think I caught up on that. So what's slowing me down with my watching of everything is obviously I can't stop watching documentaries. I can't stop watching stuff that I've already watched 4,000 times, and we just started watching Game of Thrones.
Okay.
We finished season 1.
Did you not? Have you watched it before?
Never.
Oh wow.
So I'm brand new to this. I for the most part I didn't really do spoilers. I don't really know what's happening. So we finished season 1. I'm not gonna bore everyone with Game of Thrones talk, but we're watching
Lord of them? Just I will
'cause
say
I'm
this,
so
don't
far
watch
behind.
the HBO trailer then.
because I'm so far behind. So everyone's like, "You idiot! You're just in it." So we're on season 2. The only thing I have with that show that's so tough with me is they just talk about stuff as if you should already know about it. And
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
Now, do you have the Blu-ray?
yes.
Okay, because the thing with the Blu-ray is on the screen. When you first start, you have no idea. It's like this little plus thing, right? And you push the button, it comes over, and every time the new character comes, it will light up and it will tell you the character's backstory if you click on it.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, a game changer.
Yeah. 'Cause
Um.
in the beginning, you're like, I don't know anybody. I know Ned
Yeah.
Stark, and you're probably calling the guy from like 006. Or what was
Yeah.
he? Yeah, 006.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole time I was like, "Why is Aquaman raping this chick?" Like, yeah. I bought and played a little bit of Stardew Valley for the GameCube. For the GameCube for the
Wow.
Switch for my Switch. I've been playing Civilization 6 for the Switch. And then I bought Resident Evil. Well, I game shared, so I got Resident Evil 2.
Redone.
And I beat it going on my 4th time
You
Ridiculous.
psychopath.
in 2 days.
You psychopath.
Yes.
He did watch guides though, so he
Yeah.
didn't do it on his own.
So I did watch a guide just for the speed run. I sped run the
Alright,
first
fair
2,
enough,
and the
fair
second playthrough I went through collectibles,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna do. I don't have to speed run anymore because I don't really need the thing. So I'm gonna legit play. Well, not legit,
Like
but I
through
legit played the other one. But I'm getting the collectibles and
Absorb the
achievements.
atmosphere.
Yeah, so
do its
I'm gonna
thing,
do
yeah.
So you know, A and B, right?
So
Still A and
I
B?
played Leon twice,
Mhm.
and then I played Claire A twice,
Okay.
and now I'm gonna play Leon
Sure.
Leon B, Claire B.
You gotta flip flop them though to get all the weapons.
Yes,
You know when you get
and
to
all the
the-
collectibles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know when you get to part of the police station
Mhm.
where it says maybe you should leave something here for
Yeah.
someone.
yeah,
You leave. I forget, it's the chain gun and the extra backpack
yeah.
because the other character can't get that in their run through
Mhm.
unless they changed it. Now I'm
Yeah.
going off of the game from. 20
Yeah, I think they got rid of that.
Really.
Yeah, I did see a really funny video posted by my friend Will where someone got a glitch where there was 2 Titans in their game.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I saw. Oh, I didn't watch the video. but I saw-
I would literally turn my system off if that happened.
The big guy is.
Yeah,
was
like the
called-
guy you can't kill. He just
Yeah.
stalks you the whole time. Like there's nothing worse than trying to get a puzzle done, and all you hear is doof, 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 and he doesn't really bust your walls. Yeah, he just hears big feet coming. But Resident Evil 2 is phenomenal. If you were a fan as much as I was back in the day of the original, please pick that up. You're gonna be very, very surprised and happy with it. That pretty much covers everything we have for the show. We're just gonna end with this last topic. Now that we have games being remastered, give us your top 5 games that you would like to see remastered.
Before we get to, do you guys thought we'd talk about Demon's Crest?
Well,
Or is that-
I actually
jumped
was.
the
I was
gun?
actually just gonna showcase like some stuff that I
Okay.
was like doing because like just being with you guys. Like I know Nikolai likes to stop animation, so like I was just gonna say I got Isle of Dogs. Well, I wanted to watch it. I would have let you.
Ben
borrow
trying to
it
play
too,
to the
so-
crowd here.
So Isle of Dogs, stop motion animation. I didn't get a chance
Isn't
to
Bill
do it.
Murray in this?
There's a lot of them in there. As you can see, they're all in yellow there. So like you're seeing like
Holy shit!
like Scarlett Johansson,
Bryan
Jeff Goldblum,
Cranston,
and then there's
Bill
some
Murray.
Edward Norton, Liev Schreiber, Bill Murray. Bill Murray was on your right thumb there. Then Jeff Goldblum. They they really kicked it up a notch with this.
I remember
movie,
seeing the
apparently.
trailer for this. What else you got here before we
But,
get on our topic? Then you have Devil
okay.
Crap.
So
Derailed it again.
one of the games I really wanted to see Capcom remake is Demon's Crest. Old Super Nintendo game. I really like this game because it's with platforming and all that, and we're gonna get into more devil shit too. So,
Let's talk about all that.
But point being though, I would love to see this as like a 2.5D remaster.
Nice.
Why
It would be
you use
amazing.
the most glittery thing of all time as a bookmark? Your whole book is covered in glitter.
I have nothing.
At least it's not ending in a Christmas card.
There's no glitter on that. It's still up. By the
Your
way.
whole book is covered in glitter.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm not.
your
Now
book.
I don't think I went to
It's not
Beavers.
your book, you goose. That's my fault. Those are my repercussions. Get out of here. Those are my fucking repercussions.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. But anyhow, Demon's Crest, definitely one of those games that you really want to pick up. I picked this up at Renegers, and this is still my original copy that I picked up from Renegers. It was like $5, I think, and now it's like a $90 game.
Yeah, I have
Somebody's
mine
getting
still.
that though.
And it's cool because you get the different stones. You get different types of.
Yeah, there's
logos.
different crests. Like there's an earth crest, air crest, water crest. There's a hidden crest then too. You have to go and bounce around different places
Yeah.
that combines all the powers into one.
And what's cool
And
is
different endings.
they do the thing like Secret of Mana when you fly on the dragon versus
Mhm.
the I guess the 3D for the time.
Mhm.
And it's not
Oh
side
yeah,
scrolling, you have to
yeah.
fly around to the different areas.
Oh,
That
and
game's really good. But if you want to get it, it's gonna rank you about $70 to $80.
And it's a pretty bitchin' soundtrack. Like
Yeah, the
we were
music's really
saying,
good.
is I just like to hear like all that gothic stuff revamped.
Yeah,
and
as soon as you
remastered.
start
That
the
devil
game,
shit.
yeah, you fight a big monster right off the gate. Looks like the Coliseum. You have to
Let's
fight.
take a look at that.
Yeah,
Back up.
I still have mine.
Jump on.
I bought.
Jump out here.
And then going off of the devil tangent, I was also reading Devil Man. This
So
is
he
the
has a
original-
book called Devil Man, and he's using a glitter bookmark.
Just
putting that out
Doesn't
there.
that sound like a Rob Zombie song?
Yeah. Devil Glitter Man.
And but it's the original 1970s version of the. It's just collected in 2 volumes, and as you can see here, like Nikolai's just looking here. Yes, those are
How do you know I'm
hermaphrodites.
looking?
I just know.
He's looking down at the book. He's like, and Nikolai's looking. I'm like,
She's pretty hot.
Well, they're
Summoning-
hermaphrodites.
He's
They're
summoning devil
hermaphrodites.
man.
Girl.
But basically, there's like
Look at
that's
that.
an interesting.
demons
image.
with tentacles and stuff. It's
What
really
the-
wild stuff. It's
She's
wild
not
stuff.
lying. There's tentacles coming out of her nipples.
What was that? What did
There's
you say it
tentacles
was?
coming out
Oh,
of her
that's not what I
nipples.
thought you said.
Tit tentacles.
Yeah, I thought you
I
combined
said
the two.
tentacles. But no, Devilman is a classic from Going to Guy. He actually did some like Mazinger Z stuff if you keep up with the 70s anime. But this is volume 1. I have to get volume 2, but I wanted to read the whole thing since watching Devilman Crybaby just to see how it is. And so far, it's actually kept very accurate to the actual Netflix original adaptation. So definitely worth it. Really seamless, pretty much. And
Now is that like an omnibus for comics? Is that like several small mangas put together?
pretty much, yeah. You can take a look at it
'Cause
if you want to.
I don't. My knowledge on manga is real low.
And then your last thing here.
And my last thing, I just got this in the mail today.
Wow.
Sega Genesis game, Castlevania Bloodlines. Really looked forward to get this game. There's 2 characters that you could play as. You could play as one of the Belmonts, and then there's another guy that you could play as, but he has a
you're
trident.
not a Belmont. His name is John Morris, and he's a
Oh,
he's
no,
like
wait a minute.
long lost descendant, but he's not a Belmont.
John Morris, and then Eric
Eric
Lacard, Master Lanceman. So basically, it's kind of like the Genesis answer to.
That's a great shape.
That, yeah, I picked it up. I'm like, hey guy, I want to buy it off you, and he's like, all right, cool.
I have the
So I look at that too.
the box one.
Yeah, I know what you're
soft
talking
box,
about. I couldn't pass that up. That was just a good solid copy, because usually when you look on eBay, you can't find you find okay copies. Once in a while, it's just like they're just way too much. But that was
And
just
this one-
priced right.
Net you about $50. I don't know how much you paid for it.
No.
Did you get a good deal, or did you get?
No, that for the
Well, for
condition
the
that was
complete,
in,
yeah.
it was worth it. I was just like, you know what, whatever. I did what I did.
Oh, I beat it
I
last
did what I
year.
did, which is
Yeah.
way more than $50.
Yeah. I beat it last year.
I
bought
did
that
what I did.
at Reddingers years ago for
You're
20
gonna
bucks.
regret that next
But I mean,
time.
literally, it's a like literally mint
It's
game,
it's in
like
fantastic
flat
shape.
out.
It has all the paperwork inside, which is cool.
Yeah. I mean, even the cartridge itself is. It's not dirty or anything. The label's still totally
Looks
connected.
brand new.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and that's the reason why.
But if
I,
you want-
I'm
If you
conditioned.
just buy
guy.
this, that's gonna be about $40.
Yeah, but just complete in box.
Yeah.
Even look at even the manual too, away from the poster. It's unreal. Usually you get spine ticks on those then too.
Ooh, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, it was
Oh,
perfect.
Jeez, look at that.
Oh well,
Someone wrote the cheats on the back.
whatever. It is what it is, but
But
still
that
pretty,
wasn't on
still
there.
pretty good overall.
We didn't hate the Wii series. It's just the most recent consoles I've purchased.
Go
This
figure.
guy wrote all his passwords in.
Oh well. I mean, whatever.
He didn't subscribe to the Konami Insider though.
Yeah, you would think he would have, but no.
Then he'd have to cut it out.
Still, yeah. I mean, this manual's still in good shape. Really.
Yeah, but
You have all the cheat codes in there.
That's funny.
So while we have you here, Andy, what are some just on the top of your head? What are some games you would love to see remastered? Now that we're on the, we're
Okay.
seeing a lot of games being remastered. You have Crash Bandicoot, you had Spyro, you had
Secret
Resident
Mana
Evil
last year.
2, potentially 3.
Yep.
I would have said Secret of Mana, but that remake, I liked it. I don't know if you played the remade one.
And what
PS4.
was it again?
Secret of Mana.
Secret. You know what? I really wanted to get to play that. I have it. It's just sealed. I just didn't get around to it.
I was such a loser. I beat the Super Nintendo one, and then I finished like 2 days before it came out for PS4. I beat it again, but off the top of my head, I would say, I'd probably go with the older games. Like he said, like making these ones like 2.5 or something like that. I would say Chrono Trigger, and
That you can't even you can't even perfect that
Even though
game. That
that's
just
kinda
mastered the way
remade.
just the way it is. You could just put a port on that and you're just sad. It's one of the best games
Take
not
the,
mastered.
I think they did the Turtles arcade game and like make that nowadays graphics.
Yeah.
Like still side scrolling.
Mhm.
2 and 3 because 3 was good. Our Turtles in Time 4. I'll do all of them on one.
Clever remastered. Interesting.
Yeah, let me 3 more. Oh geez. I'm trying to think of like PlayStation era games.
Legend of Dragoon.
I never played that.
Really?
Yeah, Shining Force 2 was awesome for this. One of my favorite RPGs. It's like tactics. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Siphon Filter, somebody said on here.
Siphon Filter would be a good one. I'm trying to think PlayStation
Gotta
era.
go first. Siphon Filter. That was the best. That was
Jeez,
fun.
man. I tried.
What about Earthworm Jim, Andy?
Real hard, but like, I would see that. I would pick that. For like,
Yeah.
I'd say Conquer, but that was remade. So
Yeah, Conquer kind of got not really a reboot. It just got ported.
yeah, it was like the
Yeah.
remoted edition. Jeez, I'm sure there's probably like a PlayStation one. I'm just totally blanking out on. Maybe one of the Evil Dead games. I just really like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
The Fistful of Boomstick and Regeneration for PS2, Xbox era, and the last one. Jeez, I don't know. Just because it's wacky Def Jam Vendetta.
Oh my God. That is my favorite
is that the first
wrestling.
one?
Yeah, they're both and Fight from New York are hands down my two of my favorite games of all time. The rumor is they put a tweet out. Def Jam put a tweet out saying, "Which city, if we were to make another Def Jam game, what city would you want us to fight for?" So I don't know if they're
Philly.
if they're hinting at another Def Jam game, but if they make it like the old school ones and not Icon, take my money now.
The first one was just Revenge or World Tour. No
It
Mercy
was just
with
Def Jam
rappers.
Vendetta, and then the second one was Def Jam Vendetta Fight for New York.
Yeah, but I mean the system, the engine was just the same as the wrestling games. But
Yes,
with rappers in it.
THQ Acclaim.
Yeah,
100%.
It was awesome. The second one, not so much, and then the third one was really off the rails.
Yeah, the third one. Well, the second one was just as good as the first one. It kept
got rid of the ring.
Yeah, well, it still had a ring in certain ones.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then you're fighting in the street, but you create your own guy. And
Yep.
Henry Rollins trained you.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Ludacris still had a ring in the second one. Yeah, Ludacris had a ring.
But the first one had the X title that DMX had.
Yes.
So, and the main boss was basically Suge Knight. But
It was Suge Knight, and then the second boss was Snoop Dogg. He played a character named Crow.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was probably all about it.
Yeah, it was such a good game.
It was.
Nikolai, remastered list. What do you got?
So, for starters, this one's just for Xbox people. I want 1 and 2 of Kingdom Hearts.
Well, it's made. It's for the PlayStation.
No, that's why I said
yeah.
for Xbox people.
Oh, I got you.
I want 1 and 2 on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played them for PlayStation 2, and I'm loving 3, so I want to see those remastered on Xbox. I'm gonna go a different route probably than everybody else. Since I'm a big movie person, I loved those movie video games, so I want to see like the King Kong game, which I really loved, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, that was really good.
Batman Begins. So those are the ones, like to me, that I would really love to see again, and play it, whether it's on Xbox or even if I have to play on my brother's PlayStation 4, I'd go that route.
Mhm.
Or like the Destroy All Human games.
Destroy All Human be a cool one.
Those would be really
that'd
fun
good,
to remaster.
Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Ben, what do you got?
Well, like I mentioned before, Demon's Crest, definitely a 2.5 game. I'm just looking through some of the other games that I have. Another 2.5 one that Andy might appreciate. Splatterhouse 2.
Splatterhouse. Yeah.
Well, they did remaster
I only have
Splatterhouse.
3.
No, well, there's a long history behind that.
It's not a
and
remaster. It's a completely new
Game.
Completely new
They-
I
reboot,
enjoyed
yeah.
it though. It's
Yeah.
very heavy metal. It's very over the top.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like studio wise. It's an interesting history. You should definitely look into that. What were some other games?
You didn't do your homework, did you? You want to come back to you?
I'm not gonna lie.
You want to come back to you?
Yeah, you can
All right.
talk. Yeah.
So what mine I would love. We kind of talked about it earlier. I would love if they did a Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah.
They go back to the castle. You jump in the paintings.
Yeah.
Put it for the Switch.
Did you ever play the DS one where they added Yoshi and Wario?
No.
Yeah. It's the same game that just had Yoshi and Wario.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 DS. I think
The
it's
graphics
called.
are slightly better.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very. I would definitely have to look into that. I would love a Banjo-Kazooie
Oh.
remaster.
You know, I put that in my 64 not to interrupt yet. I tried playing it like all the graphics are.
Yeah.
They need to get a special.
We just
wire.
had one WWF No Mercy. If they would just make any wrestling game with that engine again, I don't care what it would be. The rumors are, this is the rumors, that AEW is going to try to make a video game and they want to use the same THQ Acclaim engine.
That'd be. Even if they use the same graphics,
It could be the same as graphics.
If
Yeah.
people would be like, "This is the best ever."
Yeah.
That wouldn't hurt at all.
So what I have there? I had Mario,
Yeah, Mario,
Banjo-Kazooie. I would love a River City Ransom remake.
Ooh, dropping the heat there.
I would
Holy
love a
shit.
River City
I never really
Ransom.
heard you say that.
I would love a Champions of Norath. I would love to bring that back. I was a
Yeah.
big fan of that game. Def Jam was on my list, but even if we don't get a remaster, I would just love another continuance of that game.
Even if they made them now, where like the current systems, where you can download them, so I can get trophies and achievements.
Yeah, 100%. I was always not so much a remaster. If they would remaster it with a better graphics. They kind of just ported it back to the PlayStation. I was always a fan of Dark Cloud, the Dark Cloud games.
Oh, the only thing I didn't like was the weapons breaking. You had to always carry the dust when you fix the weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I would have to say a complete remaster of a game, I had to tip my toe. Oh, Clock Tower. Clock Tower is the first game that ever gave me nightmares as a kid.
Is that the one where you take pictures?
No,
that's
Clock
Fatal
Tower.
Frame.
This mutant hunchback dude with huge lawn hair trimmer,
Are
like
you a
lawn
girl in
trimmers,
that?
and
Yeah.
you cannot fight. You have to hide
Okay.
and run.
I don't think I ever played that.
That's
it's
like I
terrifying.
think it's like a point and click adventure, isn't it?
No, you
Or
have
something
full
like-
control like a silent like
Okay.
even if like just going in like how they just did Resident Evil 2, it would be really cool to do like a Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Like remaster Silent Hill. They're already talking about doing part 2 of Resident Evil. I would love them to do part 1 again with this new engine because this Resident Evil 2 remaster is such a good callback to the original, but it just did such a phenomenal job. I'm super pleased
I'm
with
gonna
it.
get it. Just
So
Yeah.
kind of like
list.
a new game in some aspects, but at the same
A
time,
new
it's
game, but
very
you're
familiar.
remastering it. Yes,
Mhm.
that's what I would. All those titles I said, if they would have just kind of remaster it, but kind of give a new take to it, maybe better control system, it
Yeah.
would be phenomenal.
Well, that's what they did for. Did you play the remastered one?
I did, but it's still tough to play.
Because they have the tank controls, and
Yeah.
which you have to up is always walk. Which
Yeah.
Is, and then they have the newer controls, which
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's much better.
Yeah, I would love if they would do Resident Evil 2 the way they just did this one, but part 1 again.
Okay.
I think that would be really
Well,
cool.
they're saying 3. which
Yeah.
I love 3.
3 was really good. 2 is always my favorite,
Really?
but 3 was really good.
I
Yeah,
think 1 and 3 for me.
for me, it would go 2, 4,
Okay.
2, 4, 3, I know people will hate me for saying 5, but 5 I have a spot in my heart because of that co-op.
But yeah, that's what, you know,
Yeah.
people shit on 5. But me and my friend played through that. And he was Chris and I was Sheva.
Yeah.
And, we loved it.
So my bonding experience with my brother-in-law when he was younger was Resident Evil 5. We kind of just sat down, and he was he only played certain games. He didn't like anything scary, so that was like his coming out to horror genre.
Yeah.
And the only reason he was able to do it because of that co-op.
Okay, yeah.
And by the time he played it, I already unlocked guns and stuff.
The
So
triple barrel shot.
yeah, so I was just like, you play as this character because you have unlimited ammo. It's not as scary.
Yeah.
And that was his introduction to Resident Evil.
That's awesome. Did
Yep.
you get the chain gun backpack for Chris?
I believe yes.
If you turn backwards, he's all the bullets bounce off him.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my friend beat that game. We get every single thing in.
Yeah.
They're unstoppable.
Yeah, that's really high in my heart there. So what do you got for your games?
So Andy's might like this one. You might like this one then too. We're on the tangent of Capcom remasters. Saturday Night Slam Masters. Oh,
did you ever play that?
My God, I have the game.
I have it too.
That was a fun game.
Oh my
I'm
God.
missing the manual, but
They did all tornado tag stuff too. You had like you could do the multi-tap with that then as well.
Yeah.
So like you had all these wrestlers. You had a fat guy. You had like someone like Andre the Giant.
there was Vader. There's
they called him Grater.
Yeah.
Grater. And you knew with the headpiece and all that was definitely him. Another game I would love a full remaster of, Tomba. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Tomba. That's the one.
Caveman dude.
That's the caveman dude with the pink hair,
Yeah,
you hit the pigs with like a ball like a mace, and then you pigs and like flip them and like kill other pigs with them.
That's pretty cool.
And you do and to pick up weapons, you jump on the weapon itself, and then like you do like a corkscrew, like a flip in midair, and you absorb you put in your equipment on. And it's like just like all different, like it's kind of like you're running through like doing errands for different people and like plugging different stuff to advance, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You're playing softball tomorrow in this cold?
Indoors.
Oh jeez. And then one that I really want a gun for, since they came out, Onimusha Warlords came out with a high definition remake. And that's kind of like, imagine Resident Evil, but with samurais. And a kind of sort of beat 'em up. I really want that.
With a little bit of Devil May Cry.
With a little bit of Devil May Cry.
What about Dino Crisis?
Yeah, Dino Crisis is so hard.
And that's another one that they were I was looking at like those two particularly.
People had a huge outcry for Dino Crisis. Yeah.
Nightmare creatures.
Oh, people are.
I mean, let's go Pikachu and Eevee if you want to take. That's a remaster.
Basically,
A remaster with some new stuff. Yeah.
But I would love to see Onimusha because I was really really into that game. Like I blew through it. I got like all those the stones that you get to get it was like the Onimusha blade, like the rare like the last weapon. So much easier with that weapon, by the way. Too. All you did was just spam the
keep an eye on your time there.
Yeah, just spam the triangle. But other than that, and then I like to see Dino Crisis again. They need the up and up.
Yeah, well,
Capcom really needs to break out, pull a lot out of their wheelhouse.
And they have so much. Why not bring it
They
back?
just did remastered. They're pretty much making not really a remaster, but they're taking an old generation and bringing it back with the new Mega Man. But we're gonna wrap up here on that note. We're at about an hour 45 here for the podcast. Andy, you got anything going on you want to plug?
Not right now, since this isn't the wrestling podcast. So, but I have nothing going on this week.
You have not. Go ahead, plug it.
Well, next week will be Outbreak Wrestling at Birdsboro Community Center in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, and I'll be wrestling the main event. So
come on, see him. And we still have three front row tickets. So if we can't give them away soon, we're just pretty much gonna if you see us at the event, look for one of us wearing our Interviews with Everyday People shirt
and get in for free.
And just and get in for free with us. So we have three. Huh?
What's the code word?
So all right, so our code word. The code word is gonna be. We'll say serious business.
Oh,
serious business. If spread the word. If you want
25% of Blue Chew.
Yeah. if you want free tickets to Outbreak Front Row, we have 3 tickets available. Come find us at the show and say serious business, and we got you in. All right. It's going to be a great show. So definitely tune in for that. You weren't here earlier, but PPW gave us 4 free tickets
that's
for their
pretty
next
sweet.
show. That is awesome.
With
So
Juventud Guerrero, Veda Scott, and Brian Pillman.
Brian Pillman. They kept saying Brian Pillman.
Yeah. Oh, Amazing Red is there too. Yeah. Veda
Amazing
Scott,
Red.
I love her. She's like got that whole nerd gimmick going on.
I'll tell you what. That last PPW show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
Smoke show.
She wrestling
His
is
eyes were glued to that match for a good solid 20 minutes.
the wrestling wasn't the. I mean, they put a good match on. Her wrestling wasn't the greatest. The girl she wrestled did a very good. She did a very good job.
Scarlett, it would be at the level of Mandy Rose.
Yes, Scarlett was. You could definitely tell she still needs work. She still put on a very entertaining show. Her opponent did a very, very good job, definitely helping her out. But wow, she's an attractive girl.
I almost passed out.
Yeah, Ben was really.
How about that outfit she had?
I was almost gonna have a
wowzer. Yeah,
We're doing pop culture here. Ben's eyes literally looked like the Animaniacs in a cartoon when they see the nurse walking in.
Hello, nurse.
Hello, nurse.
Pretty much. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean,
yeah,
it's all right.
She was scantily clad.
Nikolai, you got anything going on before Ben drops something terrible on the microphone?
No, I mean we pretty much plugged the stuff earlier.
Yeah, come go see Damian, his new show, his new tour, and check out his new movie, tour. And do all that. Ben,
I'm just gonna plug some of our comments here. My Balzac Ertz, Sunset Riders. Yeah, that would be a good remake.
Fantastic.
And Pablo said Power Stone.
Power Stone, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Power Stone 2.
I thought of another one, but besides the point,
I
just wanted to dedicate the plug to our commenters, just because like you guys are great.
Give us a like and a subscribe while you're here. Like the video, subscribe, share it, and we'll definitely see you next time. The only thing I have to plug is we'll see you guys soon with we have an interview on Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to be doing an interview, and then we come back for a tornado tag. Well, actually, we might have a tornado tag this either Wednesday or Friday if everyone's cool with it, to do one last show before the Outbreak show. We're gonna figure that out if we're gonna do it or not. That might be a bonus episode. Yeah, we'll get a little promo episode, and then 10-8 round is going to be this Thursday. So take a look at that. And once again, thank you, Nikolai, for getting the logo done. We're looking forward to the other ones as well. Now we're starting to shape up into everyone getting their own little shine. But thank you guys so much. Hit that like button, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna wrap up here with one last song by our special guest today, Ozzy Fever, or as Mo Hard. We're gonna play his song called "You Got Booty Trees." Whoa. I love it. It's funny. Wait to hear this. See you guys, and we'll see you guys soon.
The headphones on to hear this song?
Yes.
Right at the beginning of Booty Tree.
Hit up with the what? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Word? Oh yeah? Hey. What? Yeah. Oh, nah. Your wrist don't shine. Said your wrist don't shine. You got booty trays. Play with plastic guns. This your life for days. Why you look like that? You Mr. J, but you hit her real bad. I got ice here cream. Said your wrist don't shine. What? You got booty tray. Play with plastic guns. This your life alone. Why you look like that? You Mr. J, but you hit her real bad.